welcome to the Fur's greatest podcast in the world. We have a wonderful, wonderful crew today. We're on episode 36, if anyone's keeping track, and no one is. We have DJ Arkwolf, Jerry Husky, Samuel the Kitsune-Phoenix, Ryan Wolf, Zeke the Tiger, and I'm Khord Kitty. And we've got so much fun topics to say today. Let's first get to the introductions in reverse alphabetical order. Let's start with Zeke the Tiger. Tell us about yourself.
Hello, I'm Zeke the Tiger. I'm an actor, voice actor. I act in a web series on the internet. I do audiobooks. I'm very actory, very much actory.
Or maybe you're just acting like it.
Yeah. You'll never know.
And Ryan Wolf, what are you?
I am a very derpy wolf, and I play Minecraft and a whole bunch of video games and all that. Just trying to get by in school. I got just a few more weeks until I'm free on summer vacation and going to Anthrocon. Oh yeah. Anthrocon is like the big one. That's the closest con I live to, so I'm ready for it.
Excellent. Well, we'll make sure to forward that information to all of your stalkers.
Okay.
I think they're about to get the
will.
coordinates. They got the longitude pretty well, but the latitude, they're still working on it. British man, tell us about yourself.
I'm Samuel, the Kitsune-Phoenix hybrid, or you could just say Kitnix, because that's basically the official thing.
Oh.
Kitnix. Yeah, that sounds dope. It's better than Fitsune.
Kitsune.
Hi, I'm a Fitsune. I'm so cool. So, Sam, tell us about yourself. And, I don't know if you're in a grade or something, because I don't know how the education system works in UK.
I'm just a few weeks away from doing my GCSE exams, which are, uber important. And if I don't get my maths and English, I have to, do those ones again, but it's going to be fine.
GCSE?
A General Certificate of Secondary Education?
I don't think we have that here.
Yeah, it's kind of mandatory over here.
I am Khord Kitty. I enjoy a bit of acting myself, except more in the background, non-union, but still, it pays money, and money is good. You could use
Money
it
is
to buy
good.
food, like pizza.
Yeah,
You can use it to buy art, Yif.
exactly.
Oh.
Well, I don't know. Finding requests is pretty easy, so...
Not for me.
Oh, well. Hey.
So here's what you do. You go on FA, you look up the journals, and then you go to the URL, you change the number of the journals, so it's newer and newer, and then you'll run into the newest journals, and always, 1 out of 100 of them are okay, the first person who comments on this gets free art.
Oh,
Wow.
I've gotten
I want that.
hundreds of pictures of free art just through that method, so do it.
That's a good idea.
But that's only advice for poor people. If you happen to have money, support artists. Yay! All right, now Jerry Husky, Mr. Jerry Bowberry for Furry. Actually, no, I saw Jerry Husky. In fact, in this whole chat, Jerry is now the only person I've ever seen in person. Person.
Really?
In first.
In the fur.
First.
So
Yeah.
he visited this magical place called the Brooklyn Botanical Gardens, where they had Japanese people fluttering everywhere for the amazing Sukaka Shikabaka whatever festival.
Kawaii.
Yeah, it was amazing. Also, I run a little talent pool here on Skype known as Anther Talent. We're hoping to grow. Yeah, we're looking to grow our talent. So if anyone wants to join,
Zeke,
you can.
Zeke, do you know anyone with talent? I don't know anyone with talent.
I don't know, Khord. I mean,
No clue.
it's just talentless here, huh?
Completely.
I got a fursuit on the way pretty soon, which is awesome.
Oh, nice. That's always cool.
Yeah, and what else?
Where do you like to go on Saturdays? What's your favorite butter?
My favorite. That would be no butter because I'm trying to lose weight.
Oh, I see.
I'm trying to gain it, mate.
Oh.
I love butter.
Trade weight.
My favorite butter is popcorn
possible.
butter. Anybody else? Popcorn butter?
It tastes good, but it makes my skin break out. So.
DJ Arkwolf, last but not leastest.
Well, basically, I'm just the wolf on sidelines here, so sitting around looking at all the derps and whatnot, and of course, about to go crazy on the next person who used terrible puns.
Yep, that's me.
I think
that's all of us.
All right. And now I'm going to make an effort to try to avoid the topic of Baltimore riots for as long as humanly possible to stop awkwardness. Now, let's talk about the Polar Bear Cafe. Oh, that quirky little anime with a bunch of polar bears talking to each other like they're people. It's so silly. Oh, my God. Jerry, what?
I know, right? Well, basically, Polar Bear Cafe is an anime about animals and people living amongst each other.
Are you all familiar with like a maid cafe? If you ever been to like an anime con?
No.
Well, basically, it's like where like these what's it? The little chibi style cutesy girlies, like they're people dressed up like those in the maid outfits, and they serve you, and they give you tea and like little snacks. It's very, I don't know what the word is.
Lolies? Chibis?
Yeah, lolies. Yeah,
Oh
they're like
lolies.
Yeah, they're dressed very lolly, and it's a thing at anime conventions. But I was thinking, a polar bear cafe. I'd totally be for that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too.
But they're
Also-
furry conventions.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. We need a polar bear cafe.
There's no violence in it, so it's relatively kid-friendly, but they do say words like bitch, ass, damn, and hell. I guess that's okay for Japanese children.
Yeah, it's anime.
That's bad.
Anime is, a little more liberal with its context. They've got different rules over there.
Now, one interesting thing that Polar Bear Cafe does is they don't necessarily try to Disneyize the polar bears. Like, they don't try to give them really big eyes and really expressive features. They look like actual polar bears through the whole series.
Oh,
Really? Okay, so they look like feral polar bears.
Completely feral. Like, there's no extra expressiveness. Like, I'd even go so far to say it's like almost not a furry at all.
So these polar bears, are they like sentient? Do they hold conversation?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Okay.
they do.
That's technically furry.
Oh, something I forgot to mention about Polar Cafe, it's not English dubbed, unfortunately.
Oh, subtitled at least, right?
Yeah, it's subtitled.
I'd have to say there is an anime I would recommend, like all the furs out there, that's pretty much like a pure furry-esque kind of anime called The Hyper Police.
Hyper-
It's
The
sort of like,
Hyper Police?
it's a pretty good anime. Basically two
Hyper
worlds. One containing like furries and all that. The other containing humans. The two collided.
If you are an adult, I would very highly recommend Dead Leaves. It is a 45-minute anime, and it is just super entertaining, super stylistic, but not for kids.
I don't see much furry in this. Oh, is it because of the ears and the tail?
Yep.
That'd be an interesting topic. Is ears and tail considered furry?
Yeah.
Probably about 25% furry, not full fur.
I've seen the chart. It was like, you sick bastard is like
Yes.
the most furry.
Oh, okay, I see. I never really considered that. I was like, that's more like a cat person versus,
Yep.
a furry.
I mean,
Well,
at least
I
the
do
main
believe-
character has an excuse for having like a human form. So a body. She is half human.
Oh, okay.
She is half human, half cat.
That's called Neko.
That's it. Thank you.
Oh, Nico. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I knew it was like Neko. Yeah, Neko.
It's Neko, not Nico. What are you, Nico Bellic from Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah. How did you know?
Dozen, let's go bowling.
So on the subject of furries in the media and cartoons, let's go to the Ursa Major Awards. Ooh.
Woo!
It's to give awards to the best anthropomorphic literature and arts for the year. Anyone want to give a drum roll? Best anthropomorphic movie. We have Guardians of the Galaxy. Boy, yeah.
Oh, really? Interesting. Okay.
I've never seen that movie.
You should
Yeah,
see it.
let's
It's
see
a
the movie.
very good movie. Maybe even go so far to say it's one
I
of the
enjoyed
best Marvel movies out there ever.
Okay, I
Yeah.
saw even Furry Force got an Ursa Major award.
Yeah, thanks.
From College Humor.
Ugh,
Oh my god.
I don't like that.
I loved it.
It is fun.
Furry Force One has the odd distinction of being the most viewed furry any video on YouTube right now.
That kind of saddens me, but
It's on the front page down over there with YouTube. Every time I go ahead and look it up, it just pops whenever you go ahead and look at anything that's furry related.
I bet you underneath this video right now it's down there somewhere.
It's
Just gotta
very
look.
it's very obvious it's a satire video, right? It should
I don't
be.
know. Well, I mean, satire, there's two different perspectives to that. It's like, it's meant to either, kind of criticize, or is it just for fun? I mean, we know college humor.
Yeah,
But
but
if it's
but
college
like
humor, then it's obviously like a quick piss take that. Haha, this is what some people think about a furry when we all know it's not.
excuse me. They even reached out to the furry community and noticed about the Ursa awards. So they're kind of alright with furries. They're just kind of joking about them. I don't think they really meant anything
Now,
too
to get-
harsh against furries.
To get
Yeah.
super duper analytical, when I was younger, I read this book about humor, and this guy has this theory that what makes a joke is pain and truth. So I think that's all it was trying to show. It was trying to show just there's something kind of painful about the truth that, there's some furries that do enjoy big, scary hyper herms.
This sort of thing.
Can't avoid that.
Well, yeah,
I'm scary, but not.
But my only gripe with that video is that, like, it's showing that this is all that furry is. Whereas, in their other video where it was, the butthurt anime fan, I don't know if you guys saw that College Humor skit. It showed two sides to the argument about anime fans, showing, the two anime fans, they were like battling each other, trying to introduce an anime to this couple that would want a suggestion. And at the end of the video, they're like, oh, anime, doesn't suck. It's just the fans that do. And, let's watch Cowboy Bebop. I didn't see, an objective kind of viewpoint in those furry videos. It was just like, furries, they like this, all this weird stuff right here, and it's hilarious. That's kind of all that I got from it. Whereas I know I'm kind of analyzing the video.
It's kind of like troll logic. It's like, oh, we do it for the lulz. Ha 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 ha. No matter who we run over.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I'm kind of like, if this is the most viewed furry anything, that really doesn't.
You know what panel that some furry convention needs? It needs a roast panel.
Oh, brilliant.
It needs a roast panel.
A roast panel.
Roasts are kind of fake. I mean,
fake, but come on, they're kind of funny sometimes.
Yeah, and they're really mean-spirited. Like, not a lot of people. I mean, the thing is, when people go to roasts and watch roasts because they're cool with that sort of mean-spirited humor, but I'd say the majority of the population don't like mean-spirited humor. That might be going on a limb.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I mean, but the people get roasted are voluntarily doing it.
Yeah, they are. Like, I mean, it's got to be a good roasty. There's got to be a good roasty if they're just kind of like sitting there like, it's not that much fun. But like if the roasty, they're able to, is that the term roasty? Yeah, if they come up with like some good rebuttals, it makes it more interesting.
I'm not really sure how they would do it without like a teleprompter or something, because that's basically what they all are. They're all looking at the camera and reading a teleprompter with all the jokes pre-written, usually by people who aren't the comedians who are talking, which is awfully ironic, but you look at the credits, that's what happens.
True. Yeah.
So Furry First was the winner of Best Anthropomorphic Short or Series, and it beat out My Little Pony. Ha ha ha.
I don't know if that's
just my hair.
We won, everybody.
It's like a Pyrrhic victory. It really is. It's like Furry Force beat out My Little Pony in the Ursa Major Awards.
We won by insulting our own selves.
But bronies, don't be too discouraged. Apparently, My Little Pony did win for Best Anthropomorphic Graphic Story.
Wait, anthropomorphic?
Yeah, it is anthropomorphic.
Well, anthropomorphic is basically animals that act like humans, or anything that acts like humans that's not humans.
Yeah, whether they have facial expressions, able to talk, or stand on their hindquarters, or anything like that.
And I'm gonna let's see. I'm gonna go to the Best Anthropomorphic comic strip, House Pets, and that's what I voted for. I actually voted. It's really good. It's just
I love House Pets. That's pretty cute, and I like how it's safe for children. It's like rated PG, right?
Yeah, it's pretty tame. Very tame.
I like that. Like it's a nice furry comic that's popular, but it's also safe.
Best Anthropomorphic published illustration, Midwest FurFest convention book. Mm-hmm.
Really? What? Wait, what?
Yep. Last
which
year.
one? Which year? Was it the winter lights
something like
festival?
That, all pretty
something?
lights and stuff.
Yeah, it was a nice book. I think I still have mine.
Well, now it's the award-winning Hoot 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 Best Anthropomorphic website, Fur Affinity.
I like it.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
It's not bad, but
you'd say there's more people who hate Fur Affinity than hate Ink Bunny, and that says a lot.
There's more people that like Fur Affinity than like Ink Bunny as well.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised with the Best Anthropomorphic game. Five Nights at Freddy actually came in second and third.
Oh, what is number one?
Pokemon.
Oh, that makes sense.
That's not a big surprise. Pokemon has been just such a huge influence.
Pokemon's been here for like years.
Five Nights at Freddy's is
decades.
Nice, but I mean, you can't compare it to Pokemon. Simply put,
you really can't. And I don't even think it's technically furry. Five Nights at Freddy's. I never understood why. Well, I mean, obviously anthro-robotic animals, but I heard somewhere that the creator's furry. I don't know.
I haven't heard that.
Is he?
Oh.
Five Nights at Freddy's. Free autonomophobia with every purchase.
Yes. I am so, fascinated by how big Five Nights at Freddy's got in furry fandom. I mean, there's plenty of anthro stuff out there. It's just, why was Five Nights at Freddy's so popular for furries?
I think people are getting
Fox,
kind of
Bunny.
tired of the whole, like, I'm going to send you a video, and they're screaming at the end. Let's send them a game and have screaming at the end. That's way more interesting.
That's true. That is true, yeah.
They released the sequels a bit too fast, I'd say.
Yeah,
Well, already they're making a part 4 that's coming out this Halloween.
The final chapter.
Okay, yeah, that's a bit long enough. Like, about half a year is pretty good, but if they're gonna, like, have to release 3 games in one, like 4 or 6 month period, then that's a bit quick, isn't it?
It is. It's amazing how quickly he's gotten these games out.
Yeah, and
for one
already.
guy, he did it pretty well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I heard the
Yeah.
engine he used is easy to work with.
Now, I believe at this point, and I just like looked this up, I think a week ago, the most popular fursuit video on all of YouTube is somebody showing off their Five Nights at Freddy's fursuit head. Yes.
Really?
The best novel, short fiction, and other literary work were Off the Beaten Path, When a Cat Loves a Dog, and Black Sad
Really?
Armadillo.
What?
There's another Black Sad? Or is this like an older book?
It says right
I didn't know
here,
Black
it's a
Sad was
graphic
still going
novel that
on.
was released October 8th.
Really?
Yeah, by Juan Diaz. I'm not going to even try that.
Is that, like, Middle Eastern?
Juan, Middle Eastern, totally,
Juan.
yeah. So it sounds like everyone's in a pretty good mood, right? All right, let's ruin that. Let's talk about the Baltimore riots.
Yay.
Oh,
All right,
goody.
let me tell you a little story. A story about a young man. So, yeah, he was born and raised
In West Philadelphia.
All right, so what happened was the police were like, all right, let's bring him to jail. They put him in a police van. He apparently was all nice, healthy, happy, and just like full of joy and happy sparkles and eyes and stuff and whatever. And then he went in a 30-minute fun ride in the police van to the police station, and something bad happened. Very bad. His spine was severed. Yeah. So
I actually know what it's like to actually have like sharp objects in your spine, because my spine is literally 2 metal rods.
And he was black,
Ow.
and I believe the officers are white, thus meaning this has to be a race issue. And
So, yes,
these
his spine was
officers have now
severed.
been charged with murder.
Yes, they have. Yeah, because there was no grounds on which he was under arrest. As it turns out, they just suspected him of something. They couldn't give a clear answer, so they just unlawfully arrested him. It was technically negligent homicide because after his spine was severed, they did not administer immediate help. He was kind of laying
Well,
on the
obviously
ground.
his spine's been severed.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna get hated, but I have a moderate opinion about all this.
Don't worry, we already hate you. Go on.
We already hate
Okay, thank you, haters.
Yeah.
I do.
all that neon green. It's just it's very hateable.
Okay, haters, let me just say that I think the police were in the wrong for being negligent, and they just kind of arrested him and his spine broke. But I think the rioters are also in the wrong because, I mean, why would you burn down a CVS pharmacy when it's supposed to be something about police?
Okay.
Okay,
and
that does make sense.
I do have. I feel a little bit in the middle about the riots. Like, I know there's like random looters that are going on. I don't think that's right. People that are kind of taking advantage of an opportunist situation. But I kind of feel like I'm rooting for those rioters that are aiming at establishments that have a history of discrimination or prejudice.
Then
I
that
mean,
will be every single one.
yeah,
I like-
if the cause is just, I say, tear that shit up.
Well,
I mean,
there's
only
also the peaceful protesters, and yeah, I support those, and you support those.
Yeah, of course I support those, but I mean, there's only so many times you can say, please stop, as a man bludgeons you across the head, or please stop shooting me, before it's like, well, what's the next step, I mean, throughout history, we've seen, riots happen, and they have been effective, like the May Day riots of 1894. We wouldn't have our workers, privileges, hadn't these riots, taken place. We might still be working like, 70 hours a week without any, days off. I think we need riots sometimes. Sometimes
Maybe, yeah.
Sometimes you
I
gotta
would just go to a riot just to play the damn song.
But people have so many rights these days that riots are becoming less and less necessary, and that we're becoming a more free society, kind of. But like, it's kind of like people are just crazy.
Free with an asterisk. Like,
yeah, free with an asterisk.
You gotta read the fine print.
Actually, that is perfect. Free with an asterisk.
Guys, we're getting super controversial. Isn't that cool?
Controversy away.
We're edgy.
We're super heavy. Oh my god.
Controversy.
My opinion about this is there was a policy that when you put somebody in a police van, you gotta hold them down with some sort of restraint or something.
Yeah.
And they didn't do that, and that is the direct cause of the spine stuff. But there's a little bit of history in this. Apparently, several people have had spinal injuries from being in the back of a police van. And why? Because, I mean, like, it's not like your mom's, like, driving you to the airport. There's no seatbelt back there. And they are they often drive in a way to kind of harm them because it's like, hey, you're a bad criminal. We're gonna give you an early punishment. So they brake really fast. They go really quick, and they go all over the place.
Yeah, and you're handcuffed in the back of this this vehicle, right? And you're just kind of rolling around. Mm-hmm. I mean, unless you're some kind of gymnast, I highly doubt you'd be able to avoid injury.
This whole restraining someone down is one of those rules that the police have been treating it as a guideline, and that will ultimately end because of these riots. I think that's the one big positive change. There's going to be a crackdown on making sure that people are restrained properly in police vans.
Right. And, I mean, these riots, I mean, you said, who said that, riots are becoming less and less needed?
I think it was the neon guy that everyone hates.
Well, I can't see anybody's profile pics because we're not friends.
Oh, that's so sad. We're going to be friends with everyone. Isn't that right?
Not your friend.
The reason why these riots are happening is like it's not this one incident. You realize that's sparked this this impassioned reaction. It's several things that have happened throughout the course of the past year that have kind of brought things to a head. And it is, a case of, police and significant excessive force towards a certain minority of people. And not even just against, black people. Excessive force has been happening to like a lot of people of various backgrounds. And I think it's just something that's needed to be brought to the attention of the masses. And I mean, rioting is one way to do that.
It's happened to white people, so I mean, yeah.
It has. And I mean, it's not just, it happens more to black people, but that's not the point. The point is that we have this thing happening to people in general. And I mean, why is it that our law force that's supposed to serve and protect us, they're constantly beating us and shooting us? I mean, that's a problem. I mean, we got to change that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I wish people the best of luck, just everybody.
Yeah, same. I really would like, peaceful protests to work.
Yeah, the shop owners, anybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I made a journal about this. It has to do with possible solutions to the whole thing, and this might sound a little wonky, but I believe we should change the punishment of resisting arrest to 5 years minimum in prison. The reason being is because it's just standard that, like, anytime you see an episode of Cops, the guy always tries to run away because the whole punishment for resisting arrest is really, really moderate. It's like community service. So, they'll do it, and it's like, oh, big deal. That's on your rap sheet. No biggie. But if people knew that was a 5-year minimum, then they wouldn't run away. And guess what? Most of the police brutality always happens when the suspect is trying to run away or trying to get away or trying to struggle. Like when somebody tries to resist or run away or struggle, that is always
that is the only thing that can lead to police brutality from what I've seen. So
yeah, I heard that.
I don't think that's the only thing that leads to police brutality.
Well,
that sounds like.
And people should also know that if they are good behavior in prisons, that they can get out early on parole, right?
I don't think that should happen.
That does happen sometimes, right?
But I mean,
I think it should never happen.
I mean, at least from me, whenever I see any sort of police brutality video, it always starts with somebody starting to run away, someone starting to struggle, starting to whatever. And I think they wouldn't have done that in the first place if we had this 5-year minimum law about resisting arrest.
Or if we had better police. How about a better screening process before these people become police?
I mean, but I also agree that we could approach this from both sides.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The police need to change, and the laws need to change.
Body cams.
Yeah, body cams, better screening. Because the people that end up becoming police, they usually don't have. They usually just have like a high school degree. You don't need like anything beyond that to become a police officer. I think something, not necessarily like college or something, but maybe like some kind of psychological examination or a better process.
Go through that.
Yeah, but how good is it? Because they just kind of.
Well, the trick of that situation is that you cannot under our psychological examinations itself isn't all that great for the matter of. That's the reason why it takes so damn long to go ahead and determine if somebody is criminally insane or if he isn't, that he's just playing it.
If we study the different videos that are taken of police when they know they're on camera and when they don't know they're on camera, there is almost always a significant difference. So I think that the police aren't doing police brutality because they're mentally insane or they're crazy. They're doing it because it's easier, Like, it's easier for them to go like, okay, if we just rough you up, then you'll stop struggling and stop resisting arrest, and even if it's illegal. Mm-hmm. So the way to change that is put a camera there,
Yeah.
Put a camera on their lapel, and that's, the police will do their job better if they know that their boss will see every move that they're going to do.
This is true.
We've seen time and time and again, the worst police work is done when they don't know there's a camera on them, and that shouldn't be that way. There should always be a camera on them, and it should be on their lapel.
That is true. I do agree.
That makes sense.
Yeah. There are just some instances where it's like, what compels a man to just kind of pull over a person in the beatings and, the shooting? It's like...
We're all going to hell. All right, so on the subject of hell and devils and stuff, let's get to the interview with somebody who plays a devil on the internet.
Well, hello.
All right. So Zeke, you act, and... I want to give you a little story about how I met Zeke. So I was just hanging out at, I did the Midwest FurFest dance competition, and I'm like starting to mingle with the dancer furs pretty much for the first time, because like before that I was like, I don't have a fursuit, herp derp. And then so I went to this party. We had some deep dish Chicago pizza. And there was this gentleman who I thought he looked like a student from my school because I kind of recognized him. And I went up to him and I was like, "Hey, are you from San Jose State University? I kind of recognize you." And then what did you say?
I said, no. I went to school here in Chicago at Columbia. And I was like, "Did you go there?" And I was asking you if you went to Columbia.
And then you said you did some roles and you're an actor, and I'm like, oh really? Like what?
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, I'm on Nostalgia Critic, and I do some acting there, and
Nostalgia Critic.
Oh my god, I've heard of Nostalgia Critic.
Oh, you you haven't told them anything, Khord, have you?
A little bit here and there, but
oh my goodness.
So and I was like, wait a minute, Nostalgia Critic? Oh yeah, he's the guy who plays the devil. Oh okay, well, that's cool. And then I asked him how he found out about the whole thing, and there's like an audition story and all that, and we could get to it.
Yeah. Okay, so Yeah, actually during Columbia, I was in a radio production class because I was learning how to edit audio because I wanted to become a voice actor, blah, blah, blah. And I saw somebody editing together a video. And I was asking them, why are you editing video in an audio production class? And so she told me that Doug was still doing stuff because I lost track of his work, and he was doing a pilot series that he wanted to get off the ground, and he was looking for actors. And I was like, oh, cool.
But first, Doug Walker. So he is the host of Nostalgia Critic, which is a comedy series on the internet, which it does a lot of reviews of usually older movies, and they're all comical.
Yeah, on channelawesome.com or on YouTube under Channel League of Super Critics. Yeah, so he retired Nostalgia Critic for like 4 months, but that's because the show that I went home. It was the day of the deadline. I put together an audition video. I got in by the skin of my teeth because it was Doug's brother's wife that saw my audition video, and she said, "You guys got to look at this guy. You know, I know you're done looking at auditions, but check this guy out." And so they saw it. They got me in for a second audition, and then that's how I got cast in this series called Demo Reel, which was the new series that he wanted to replace Nostalgia Critic with. But that series just didn't catch on because fans had an allergic reaction to Demo Reel because he quit Nostalgia Critic like cold turkey. And so a few months later, he dropped that project, and I was brought on to Nostalgia Critic Rebooted, which basically he still did, like sketch comedy, and that's where I was brought on board to act and kind of help develop skits and whatnot. And yeah, and that's what we're doing today. I started back in 2012, and yeah, the rest is kind of history. Characters I've played are like just as myself or the devil. He's like a satanic type character, just a suit and fedora. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really, really am grateful to be part of this project because it's a creative outlet. It's steady. It's it helps with some income, and it's great meeting fans. And whenever I hear somebody say, "Oh, you helped, brighten my day because I was depressed," it really humbles me to hear stuff like that. So yeah.
Comedy. It's I like comedy more than dramas. I'll give you that. Yeah. Nostalgia Critic is really funny. I don't remember who introduced me to it, but when I saw it, I was like, "This is really funny." I like the writing. I've always been kind of a movie junkie, and watching it has been it's hilarious. What can I say? So when I found out that you were a furry, I'm like, oh, whoa, how did that happen? And not only that, you're a dancer furry. You participated in the Midwest FurFest Floor Wars.
I did. Yeah, that was my first time ever competing in any kind of dance competition.
And most people don't know what Floor Wars. If people who don't know what Floor Wars is, think of it kind of like rap battle, except with dancing.
Yeah. And, you just kind of like, it's a dance-off, basically. One person goes, the next person goes, music switches.
And you got to the final round, right?
I did with my partner, Leon. And he and I, we want to do it again. We want to see if we can get far in, like, another dance competition.
Yeah, and recently Leon actually got in... He was also in the finale of the fursuit division of the Floor Wars at FWA.
Yeah, so I saw that. I'm very so
talented.
Proud. Yeah, I was like, whoa.
All right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he's a great dancer and also a cat, so obviously superior.
Meow.
Superior.
Feline pride.
Take that, Wolf and Husky and Kitsune-Phoenix or Phoenix or whatever.
I'm bioluminescent at least.
I'm just awesome.
I'm bioluminescent.
Just remember, when the cat isn't around, the fox comes out and cuddles everyone.
Aww.
I just actually like to go ahead and say that even though that the cat rules the internet, its dog's day soon.
Wolves, FTW, bioluminescence, glow sticks, and just
Yeah.
Green.
You know what? We actually rule the furry community. Now that I think about it.
Yeah,
So-
canids do.
Yeah,
Huskies?
wolves do, actually. Wolves are the most common fursona.
Yes, they
Yeah.
are.
They are.
So
I
take
think
that,
I'm the only
rights.
Kitnix out there.
Ow.
I'm probably the only Kitnix.
Every time I'm doing one of those fursuit parades, the first thing I do is I try to find the house cats and just go next to them. And it is difficult. It's hard to find house cats at a furry con. I don't know why. It's
It
just
is.
so damn rare.
Actually,
It's
I
even
think
hard
I'm
to find
at a
big
slight
cats.
advantage because with like being part Kitsune, I'm at the stage of the Kitsune where I now have the ability to shapeshift.
Oh.
So I could just turn into Khord right now like that.
In your head, of course, because you have
Yeah,
your own.
obviously. Either that or steal your suit.
I understand you have an active imagination. Good job, Sam.
Yep. Hey,
Oh.
don't mind me if I'm using the actual creatures.
Hey.
Nothing wrong with an imagination. That's what makes furries what furries
Yeah,
are.
I love furries so much.
Yep.
And
Don't need
how
LSD.
did you come to become a furry? Because I think most people probably don't know that you're a furry if they're familiar with the series.
Right. No, like a lot of people
I was just
don't know.
introduced to it.
Yeah, I wasn't introduced to. I always had an affinity, a fur affinity. Yeah, mer. Yeah, I always had like
Really, I am VU too.
I am the what now? What?
I am VU too.
Yeah.
You,
Wait,
for
what's that
me,
mean?
you could say I had a close encounter of the fur kind.
I did. Yeah. I mean, I just I always preferred the aesthetic of anthropomorphic muzzle, ears, tail sort of deal. I was really into characters like Crash Bandicoot, Star Fox, Sly Cooper, who else, like characters like that, even like characters from Lion King. I always just kind of preferred the aesthetic. And when you turn like 13, 14, you just start like looking up stuff on the internet, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. And I started to delve in it a little more and like look into it, and I saw that there was like this whole community based around anthropomorphic animal characters. And when I found out more about it, and I realized that there was like a stigmatism attached to it, I was like, oh, I'm not that. I just like this thing. I'm not furry. So I was kind of like rejecting the furry fandom for like years. And I actually didn't like consider myself a furry until I was like 20, which was like 4 years ago.
Mm.
Yeah. And then I was like, okay, I'm totally furry. I want to meet other furries, and I didn't become like an active participant in like the furry fandom until like 2 years ago, when I went to my first furry convention. MFF 2013 was my first furry convention and my first interaction with other furries in person.
And how'd you get into the dancer fur community?
The dancer fur community. I always scoured the internet looking at the dance competitions. I love them so. And like I left a comment randomly on one of the videos, and Leon actually responded to it. And that's how I first met Leon. And I was like, oh, that was you in the video? I was like, you did a good job. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, I'm going to be at, MFF, 2014. And if you can, show me around, introduce me to these other dancers, I'd really appreciate it. And he was like, yeah. And when we found out that it was a 2 versus 2 thing, we decided to be dance partners. So it was kind of just random. Like, that's kind of how life happens to me. It's really random. Like, I rarely, plan these things out to happen.
Yeah, as opposed to the chlorine incident, which that was probably planned.
Probably.
Yeah,
That kind of sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you might need to edit this bit out, because if I ever find a person that put the chlorine in that vent, I will find them and violently castrate them.
I don't know who you are, but I will
Fire.
find you and I will kill you. I will lift you.
Yes,
But, yeah.
via a hook right through your urethra.
I will lift you.
Ooh.
So
You will violate them in the best way a furry can.
So Zeke,
The
tell
most
us
violent you can.
your chlorine evacuation story.
Okay, I was hanging out in the soda room. I forgot what it was, the Con Suite. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the big old soda room. Like, I was just hanging out with Leon, and he was drawing on the table because they have like a big scroll of paper that you can just draw on. And we were just, chatting, and like we started seeing some lights because we were just, the entrance is right outside the con suite. We just saw sirens, and we're like, oh, it's MFF 2014. And, we're just like, well, let's get this 20-minute evacuation over with. And sure enough, the sirens go off, and, we walk out there, and we're just kind of waiting around. We're like, man, it's been like half an hour. Aren't they going to let us back in now? We just assumed that someone pulled the fire alarm, and that was going to be it, because this happens at every MFF, right, Khord? Like, you all know.
That was my first MFF, but I know it happens just about at every con.
Yeah, someone pulls the fire alarm, and you go out, you get back in. But we were out there for like half an hour. We're like, man, what's going on? Then we started hearing all this talk about gas attack. Like, what? And people were missing, and you're just like, oh, holy crap, this is real. And
I thought people were gonna die. Like, I thought people died, and I was like, holy crap, 19 people died. Oh, they just got injured. I thought there was some kind of terrorist attack against furries that we're gonna remember for a long time. My parents heard about it on Fox News, even.
Yes, yeah, my parents did too. And you know what? That's how they found out that I was furry.
Oh.
This is how my parents found out I was furry, because I just said I was going to an anime convention. And when they saw the news, they're like, Malcolm, is this where you're at? And I'm like, yes, kind of.
Not to change the subject, but something somewhat significant happened to me about a week ago. My mom added me on my furry Facebook.
Oh, how did that happen?
How'd she know?
Well, so here's what happened. I told her I was going to an arts and crafts convention. This was in January of this year.
At least you were fine.
Once I came back from further confusion, she had the article in her hand saying, I know what you did.
Oh, wow.
But she's cool with it.
Okay, yeah.
What did you
do? Nothing. She's just cool.
Actually,
she's fine with it.
Actually,
she's very cool.
There's definitely a bit, there's definitely the whole thing like.
Well, my parents
chlorine
are
gas.
taking me to Anthrocon this year because.
That's cool that they're taking you.
Because
not really taking me. It's kind of like
doesn't.
It's more like, hey, you're gonna be my limo driver to Anthrocon.
Hey. Well, that doesn't hurt. I wish I could get rides to these places, but no, I mean, my parents, they don't really care. They think it's kind of weird, but
yeah,
they just kind of say, "Oh, I'm the weird artist child that that does weird stuff anyway." So
yeah, what surprised me more than the fact that Fox News reported the chlorine thing was that Fox News did not criticize furries during the news report.
Yeah, same.
Probably because they knew like furries was a worldwide thing.
I mean, my parents were like, my parents didn't say that Fox News said anything bad about furries. Fox really didn't. I saw the video of the news report. Fox.
Well, okay, remember that they're called Fox.
Yeah. Fox. It would be kind of ironic if they started dissing furries.
Yeah, but
Bill O'Reilly is a furry confirmed.
Ironically,
2015.
Ironically, in the end, it would have been. It ended up being Morning Joe from CNN who had the last laugh.
Actually, bonus points for anyone that can actually say, chlorine. Why would they use chlorine gas instead of something like carbon monoxide?
Well, because
chlorine is easier to make. Chlorine gas.
Well, it's powder, actually, and you can just spray it around the ground, and it's war grade.
Actually, quick chemistry lesson for all of y'all. Chlorine, when it comes into contact with water, it's going to turn it a bit more acidic.
Yeah.
And to a certain point, it'll turn from water to hydrochloric acid.
Yeah.
So it's going to burn right through you if prolonged exposure.
Now, let me. I don't want to be starting rumors, but shortly after the MFF thing, I made a journal on FA saying my theory as to what really happened, and it was based off of some stuff that people told me. And this is all it's rumor and hearsay until anyone says otherwise. But I believe what happened was somebody was trying to make something called flash meth. It's a type.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, it's a type of meth where it doesn't last very long, but it's really cheap to make, and it's 3 different ingredients that you could get from the store, and one of them is chlorine tablets for a pool, and you mix it all in this jar. So what probably happened was, because this all happened like right during the Scroy set, so I think they wanted to see Scroy the DJ.
Yeah, that was so much fun. I was enjoying that rave.
So the rave was happening. It happened at midnight, so they probably really wanted to catch the rave. So they were in a hurry. So they put the drugs in the jar, and then they were probably running upstairs. Because the thing is, you could get away with doing that since there was no cameras anywhere. And they probably dropped the jar. And what do you do when you dropped a jar like that? You can't do anything.
You run.
It's a dangerous gas. And,
yeah, you run.
And also, one person told me that of the 19 people who were hospitalized, 2 of the people who were hospitalized were the people who were responsible for the whole thing.
Wow.
But again, this is all rumor and hearsay until said otherwise, but this is what I heard from several people.
Man. It makes me kind of upset because, like I was with Leon, and, like, he was in a real panic. Like, he was calling, like, dozens of people, and then he didn't have his jacket and started to succumb to like hypothermia, and
oh my god,
yeah, it was nuts. We had to get like an AMT over to him so he could warm up, and
that was horrible. I have a thought. Like, people on YouTube were commenting saying that they were glad that the furries were being gassed and all that.
Really?
I wonder what people would
Nazis.
say if, say, like a scenario where if ISIS decided to give a little attack on a furry con, what would happen then?
I do
They would
wonder.
be like, oh no, the poor people.
They've been
I'm just
basically-
talking hypotheticals here.
Here's the reason why I don't think it would happen. There's actually this thing that happened. So there was some people, I think they were in the army or whatever, but they were taken hostage by the Taliban, and while they were being taken hostage, apparently the Taliban were eating Doritos and watching Looney Tunes. They were watching American cartoons. So that's why I think that the ISIS probably wouldn't want to target the furries, because they're into that sort of stuff.
Well, yeah, but like sodomy and stuff.
They don't know that they're doing sodomy.
They just see colorful cartoon critters. So
they don't speak English.
Yeah.
All right, let me do a little bit of trivia. Zeke, maybe don't answer this question, but could you guess? Okay. So the Nostalgia Critic, Doug Walker, said once that this was the face that launched 1,000 furries. Who is he talking about?
Oh, this is an interesting one.
Nobody knows? All right, so Zeke, tell us the answer.
Zeke, isn't it? It's Zeke.
No. It was me all along. I actually forgot that one.
It's Princess Sally from Sonic.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I think I had that name in my head for a second. Like someone from the Sonic franchise, isn't it? Can't be Sonic.
I'd be. But
I didn't want to sound like
tempted to disagree, honestly. I mean, maybe
it's a funny line. It's a funny line.
It is a funny line.
Yeah. I didn't grow up with Sonic at all. I never played it. I never watched it.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm actually surprised with on Sonic, simply because they have a big, giant fandom.
Oh,
they themselves could have separated, kind of like how the Brony community did.
Yeah. They're kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, such a confusing puzzle, both the Brony community
and the Sonic
furry and the Sonic part of the community are both furries, but yet not furries at the same time.
Yeah.
Now, I would say the face that launched 1,000 furries is Simba's. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say that too. Definitely.
True.
Up there with like Robin Hood, and then Star Fox was another big one.
And literal Robin Hood.
But, I mean, so much of the furry community have this emotional connection with animals, and I don't think that furries got as emotionally connected to animals in Robin Hood as they did in Lion King. That's what I meant.
I would agree with that, actually, yeah. Lion King is a very emotional story.
Very emotional.
Yeah. easy to get invested in that.
Well, what do you think? You get to see some guy's father getting trampled to death by a horde of buffalo.
I would say
You're obviously going to
like
shed a tear because he watches his father die.
Yeah.
Even I shed a tear, and I'm a practically emotionless psycho.
But there is a racism in the fandom for hyenas that probably also did start with Lion King.
Yeah, that does make
I'd say that's... Yeah,
because hyenas kind of goose-stepped in that.
All right, so let's conclude the episode. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. This was a fun interview and lots of fun topics.
Yeah.
Actually, a pretty nice episode that I was on.
This is no doubt probably one of the tamest discussions about the riots yet. I mean, if you've seen any of the Facebook comments or YouTube comments or whatever, they've gotten pretty scary for a few reasons.
Americans are dumb.
I would agree with that.
But I mean, I think the good news is in about 2 years, probably everyone's going to forget about this. I hate to say, because there's going to be some new police brutality case that's going to replace it. That's just
I know, just like people were kind of reminded of Ferguson, but this kind of overshadowed Ferguson, sort of.
It did. I mean, no, it's like a culmination again. It's just kind of like an amalgamation of all these events. Like, it's pretty wild how interconnected everyone feels about these incidents.
Yeah, but I'm kind of happy that they moved furthermore from Baltimore to Virginia, because I think that was just Baltimore. It needs a little time to just
recover. Yeah.
Baltimore.
They still haven't recovered from that hairspray incident.
Spray.
Yeah, because it kind of mentions Baltimore. So.
Yeah. Also,
nobody likes hairspray.
Okay, shout out time. Shout out time. Anyone has shout outs?
I would like to give a shout out to just both sides of the riot thing, because I mean sometimes it's a little bit too rough for some people, and for others, I mean, you're doing a good cause. The people who are protesting peacefully and the people who have had their businesses destroyed by the rioters, I'm giving a shout out to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably give a shout out to the people of, what was it, Nepal? Because the Nepal earthquake, go support all the charities and all that, because they kind of need it.
Right.
Yeah, that's something to note. They just had the biggest disaster they've ever had at the tallest mountain in the world. That's
I wonder if that mountain's lost any height because of this.
As we know, what happened in the Indian Ocean earthquake in 2004, the Earth actually lost a few seconds.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Like the day,
younger.
A day like lost some seconds.
It's weird. Wow.
I know, right?
Yeah. The Earth is just this physical thing with a bunch of goo and stuff plopped together with a bit of gravity, and it's not as stable as we thought it was.
Right. That's wild. Right? Indeed. I guess I have a couple of shout outs.
Do it.
Shout out to the ones over at Radio Universe. I don't know if you guys know who they are. They are another podcast group. I've been on their show a couple of times. It's a lot of fun. And shout out to Bedfellows. I love working with you guys. And
I thought they stopped doing
it. They are in hiatus, yes. But he's working on a video game right now, so yeah, he'll get back to it once he feels motivated again.
But do you do any of the voices on that? I love that show. It's great.
Like when you said that, it's great.
Yeah,
it's great. I did the lizards. I'm the voice of the lizards.
Oh shit! Oh my gosh! I remember the lizard. He's. Wait. It's
You're a lizard, Harry.
You had this line, something, mother.
Yeah. Dinner is served, motherfucker. That was that lizard, and then I was the lizard in the rap video about rap. The other rap video. You guys know the one, right? I don't know if you guys seen it.
Yeah, I believe so. Was it YOLO?
No. It was the non-consensual rapping.
Oh, yeah, that's like one of the. I think the newest one.
Yeah, that was the newest one.
That's awesome. You doing that? Yeah, we actually got to interview the guy who does the voice of Sheenan Fatigue.
Yeah, I haven't met him yet. He seems like a cool guy.
He's a swell gentleman, and I also got to talk to the creator of it at Texas Furry Fiesta. And
Nice.
it was talking,
Yeah, he's got an interesting sense of humor. He really is Sheen. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love dark senses of humor. To me, that's the best one. I'm sick. I'm sick of the dry humor that you find in musical theater. Like that really annoys the hell out of me. I think it's like the exact opposite of dark humor.
It is. It's just kind of like a whatever.
It's like great humor if you're 50. Great, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everyone again, and have a nice day.
Wait, one more shout out.
Oh, one more shout out. Sorry, go.
Yeah, I need to make one too.
Gosh. Okay, get in line. Pick a number.
After you.
Oh, after me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I do have one more shout out, and then you got to do a shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kyle Gold. I don't know if he's gonna hear this. Yeah, you guys. Do you know the book Dude, Where's My Fox?
I'm right here.
Well, it's a novella. It's a comedic erotic novella, and I get to narrate it. He's doing an audiobook version of it. So check that out. It's the paperback copy is on Amazon.com. Yeah, I should be done with the audiobook soon, but Dude, Where's My Fox by Kyle Gold. It's about a wolf that woke up and is trying to figure out who he slept with, and it's funny. Anyway.
That's like hangover. That's kind of like that's like Hangover for gay furries.
It is.
That actually sounds familiar.
Yeah, Dude, Where's My Fox?
Yet again, standing right here.
You know what?
No comment.
My shout out would be for my Twitch channel, KillerMouse95. It's some rather selfless promotion. What you want?
So you said Kill a Mouse 95,
Killer,
right?
Not killer.
Killer Mouse 95. Okay, it's hard to tell with your mic. It's a little herpy-derpy.
Well, yeah, I'm using my laptop microphone.
But there you go. Any more shout-outs?
Shout out to Scott Cawthorn, because...
Oh, yeah, cannot forget Scott Cawthorn.
But yeah, Kyle Gold, the king of gay furry porn writing.
Yeah.
What a fun niche.
I need to look this guy.
Yeah, look him up. He also does non-porn stuff, too.
No, wait, what is he called again?
Kyle Gold. Here, let me type it in.
Oh my gosh, you do realize you're typing this to a minor. There's two minors, high school-age minors in this chat who shouldn't be looking at it in the first place.
Well, no, guys, I've seen worse, okay? I've seen worse. I've seen people die.
You're the high school minor?
That's the discrepancy.
We have two of them.
I've seen people die.
It doesn't matter what you've seen. Like I said, it's the discrepancy of the show itself that's what matters.
Well, I guess we'll have to edit this whole thing out then.
I mean, each state has its different...
let's see. I guess everyone, do you want to say your age? I'm 28.
I'm 16 at the age of consent in Ohio.
I'm 16 at the age of consent in England. So.
Okay, I am... Wow, you sound much older. I'm 20... blah. The age of
20,
consent,
blah, blah.
Yeah, the age of consent in Illinois, it ranges from...
Malcolm, I could probably guarantee you that I'm probably more older than you are.
I'm 24.
I'm 26.
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah,
okay.
no, yeah, you and Khord are pretty much gray muzzles, right? According to... Oh, I'm sorry.
Wait a minute, I have to scratch my ass. Oh no, there's dust on my hand now.
So if you can rent a car, apparently you're gray muzzle then.
Yeah. No, it's like, I think they changed it from 30 to 26 for some reason.
No, it's 25.
Really? Oh my
God.
It's 25.
But my significant other is not old enough to rent a car.
Oh, bummer.
All right, let's close this off. All right, thank you everyone for joining us again, and we'll see you for episode 37 in a month, probably. So,
Goodbye.
toodaloo!
Bye.
Later, assholes.
Bye. Have a good night.
Peace.